IHL does not specifically prohibit the use of nuclear weapons in an armed conflict. However, it does contain general rules which apply to their use in war. The cardinal principles of IHL, namely distinction, proportionality, humanity, and precaution, continue to apply to nuclear weapon attacks, as do the specific rules which apply to protect the environment and prohibit indiscriminate acts. The question of whether the use of nuclear weapons could be compatible with international law came before the International Court of Justice in an advisory opinion in 1996. The court, in a highly criticized judgment, decided that the use of nuclear weapons would generally be contrary to the rules of international law applicable in armed conflict, and in particular the principles and rules of humanitarian law. However, it did not rule that their use was prohibited in an armed conflict, and held instead that it could not decide whether their use would be in compliance with the law in an extreme circumstance of self-defense in which the very survival of a state would be at stake. Those who sympathize with the ICJ contend that the court was constrained by political considerations and by its inability to legislate and enforce judgments. Therefore, no other judgment was possible, and the opinion itself was a highly practical one. However, the ICJ's prevaricating on this matter does not bode well for states seeking to justify their stockpiles and perhaps eventual use. As more studies come out about the effects of nuclear weapons, their radiation, and the impact on the environment, it is hoped that the international community will at some point accept that they cannot possibly be used in compliance with IHL.